So for those of you that are first time coming out today, thank you so much. We're really grateful to be here. We're thankful for our sponsors. We have coffee over here that you can get up and help yourself to via Old National Bank sponsorship. The coffee is from our local coffee shop, Crescendo, over on Monroe. So if you ever get a chance to be in that area, check them out and support them. We also have the library who's provided this space for us for the last 2 years now, because I think we've been over here maybe 2 years or close to it. We'd initially got our start in 100 State, but moved into this location to hopefully make it more accessible for everybody. And then we have Field 59 and Derek back here, and he provides the live stream and the video recording of every event. So you can always go on our YouTube channel and check out past presenters, go on our website. We're really grateful for that support. And then as far as the format goes today, we'll have Colin presenting up here for 10 to 15 minutes, then we'll open it up for questions. People can get samples during the presentation, so if you happen to get a hunger pang and you want to jump in, I don't think he'll have any problem with that. I'm trying to think if we had any events or announcements, anything you can think of?
No, it's kind of a quiet week.
I know. A lot happening last week. We had the problem-solving soiree that I saw some of you at 100 State, which was fantastic. So on that note, why don't we start introductions? I'm Rachel, and this is my sidekick this morning, Penelope. So she doesn't look too happy to be here, but maybe that'll change if we take this out, huh? And I'm with Carrick's Consulting Group.
I'm Drew Corson. I'm an attorney and a business strategy consultant.
Yeah.
Dennis Barnum, here's the Merlin Mentor.
Hi, Susie Yonkel, Program Director for Merlin Mentors.
Steve, co-founder of 32 Auctions, which is a platform for hosting and managing silent auction fundraisers.
Shannon from
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go? Shannon. I'm Chloe Mayer. I'm with Free Bikes for Kids.
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm Chloe's dad, just visiting.
Welcome.
Hi, Steve.
Hi.
My name is Derek. I'm with Field 59.
I'm Rachel Wilberding. I'm with Healthy Community Kitchen.
I'm Lee Lazar. I'm a commercial insurance agent with Associated Agencies.
Let's go next.
I'm Brad Gibbs, unaffiliated.
Free agent. Dan Anderson of Baker Jelly County.
Bob Pope, Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation.
Andrew Gonzalez, Old National Bank Commercial Lending.
Alex Moe, reporter for WisBusiness.com.
I'm with Shannon Flash from WPS.
Travis Human, Stray Cat Bicycles.
Morning, Alex Ryan from Prairie Light Solar, solar energy consulting firm.
Amy Gannon from the Doyen Group.
Peter Casisto, a postdoc at the Mortgage Institute and co-founder of Remugio.
I'm Mitch DeWitt. I'm with Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. I focus on impact investing.
Awesome. Okay, on that note, we're going to bring Colin up.
Awesome. Well, now this slide is up here, you all know what I want from you, so you can just skip the rest, right? I don't know, I cut up real quick. All right, wonderful. Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for coming. Great to see everyone out this morning. My name is Colin Tompkins, and I'm here with Simply Native. And at Simply Native, we make local superfoods convenient for outdoor enthusiasts and health-conscious eaters. We use whole food products that are all native to North America and sourced from Native American farmers when possible. And we are making ancient foods for modern times. And here, we have a picture of my family. We're a family-started company. This is my dad and my mom. We're actually doing a backpacking trip in Door County, Wisconsin, and having a lovely time. And we brought with us our favorite and the best, by far, backpacking food, our very own wild rice hot cereal, which we have over here to sample, and which we'll be talking about in just a little bit more. But before I do, I'd like to start out a little bit. Should I be using this? Doesn't matter? Okay.
That's okay.
People in the past doing it. Awesome. Before we jump into that, I'd like to start out a little bit more with how did this all start? And it starts with the farm, family farm, the farm that I grew up in. It's a 100-acre farm in northwestern Wisconsin, located smack dab in between Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and the Twin Cities. This is where I grew up, and this is also where a family experiments with growing just about every kind of animal there is. Ducks, horses, cows, pigs, you name it, and also crops as well. But more importantly, what we did a lot in growing up, and actually for my dad's family has done for more than 5 generations, is that we foraged off of our land within the forest. It was a very common activity in the mornings to go out and be looking for wild mushrooms or the wild berries. We also happen to have a large abundance of wild plums. There's a number of nut trees that we picked up as well. And this, combined with my father, Prescott, who has been in the organic space for well over 40 years, started as one of the first organic farm inspectors that there was, and has done international organic sales for about the last 15 years. He realized that there's been an obsession and kind of a movement of looking for these exotic, healthy superfoods, or fruits you call it, from elsewhere in the world. You may think of this, you think of the acai berry, or the goji berry, or a number of others that came into our markets and we've all got quite excited about, and they've been great and they're healthy, but they're from elsewhere. So these two things combined, we really started noticing that a lot of these foods we've been foraging for quite a long time and that we've been finding elsewhere around the area, is that they are a number of extremely nutritious plants that are local to our area that are not on the market, that are either in just very small regional markets or even just in lacking that of production. And so we saw this wonderful opportunity to bring these local superfoods from across North America to consumers, particular outdoor enthusiasts and health-conscious consumers in convenient ways. And so our first product actually stemmed from the farm as well. We were always looking for healthy, filling, nutritious breakfast to start the day. And a cold Wisconsin winter morning when you have to get up and move the cows to the next hay bale, it really helps to have something hot to look forward to. We got a little sick of oatmeal, and we loved wild rice for a number of different reasons and other different meals. So we came up with our wild rice hot cereal, to which we ate for I don't know how many years before we started giving out to friends and getting rave reviews. So, our wild rice cereal. These are 4 indigenous plants to North America. I have wild rice, blueberries, cranberries, and we have 2 flavors. One is the sunflower and the other is the pumpkin. This product cooks under 10 minutes on the stovetop or in the microwave. And actually, especially for outdoor enthusiasts, it can be soaked right in the bag for a few hours and then it's ready to eat. As trail mix, which is soaked so it's a little bit softer than Rachel mentioned, as she eats it just raw. But also can be just heated up within a minute or so. We sell it in these pouches, which we have over there, which are 3 servings, but we also do bulk bags as well, for people going on long backpacking trips, or just people who like to eat it every morning, like myself. So some of the particular attributes of this cereal, which makes it so amazing, is that it has a very good carb to protein ratio, 5:1, which is what a lot of athletes or adventurous are looking for. It's free of all major allergens, as you can see below, and so just about everyone can eat it, which in today's world is allergens becoming an increasingly large thing, found it important as it is accessible and available for everyone. Certified gluten-free and non-GMO. And another fact is, like I talked about, this energy, it's sustained energy. Wild rice is naturally low glycemic, so it means that it breaks down slower in your body and the energy stays with you longer, which is something that we really valued back on the farm, but also now today and going on adventures anywhere that we may be. So I've mentioned the word outdoor enthusiast, and that is because our target market are the outdoor enthusiast market. Give you a little bit of context what that means to us, is that there are roughly 35 million Americans who partake in outdoor activities twice or more a week. And those activities range from canoeing, kayaking, hiking, fishing, hunting, you name it. In particular, we are focusing on 3 different segments of the outdoor enthusiast market. And those would be the paddlers, the canoers or kayakers, the climbers, and the backpackers. And we've chosen those 3 based on interactions that we've had with people that have started working with us as brand ambassadors, as well as our own market research, of course. So I'd like to tell you just briefly about one of our brand ambassadors, who is a really amazing guy. This is Lonnie Dupre, and he is a National Geographic explorer. Lonnie Dupre is one of those extreme adventurists. He has gone on expeditions ranging from dog sledding from Canada to the North Pole unassisted, so only with the goods that he has on his body and with the dogs. He's attempted a number of solo hikes of Mount Hunter, Mount Denali, and a number in Nepal by himself in the winter. This guy does not go for easy. But he has brought our cereal on a number of trips over the last few months and really talked about how much he likes the convenience, the lightweight, and the highly nutritious, but of course also very tasty meals. So the way that we're approaching our business model, is we're looking to do a lot of what kind of like Cliff Bar did, called the Cliff Bar approach. And that would be the boots on the ground, non-traditional, a bit of grassroots in terms of getting our product into the hands of people such as Lonnie and others, and to really build our brand with people who are really passionate about what they do and about also what they eat. And so we're trying to get this into people because within these certain segments, there is certain people who are the celebrities, might you say, to those groups, right? Not necessarily to everyone, but everyone kind of looks to what gear they're using, what food are they eating, where are they going. And so we're looking to engage these brand ambassadors in a number of ways. But then we're going to take that, those passionate customers that we're building right now and start bringing that into the mainstream. So we're starting in a little bit more of a non-traditional route for a food company, but then we're looking to take it back into the mainstream to retail, nationwide retail. We're doing thus far, we are doing a work with a co-packer to allow us to basically be able to scale with them so that we're not hand-packing bags ourselves. So we're looking to get our product into these hands of health-conscious eaters and outdoor enthusiasts through 4 main ways. First, retail. We are local here in all 3 of the Wooley Street co-ops. We're super excited about. They're a great partner, as well as we are in a number of outdoor outdoor retail stores as well across the country, and we're building that here in the Midwest. We also do a lot of our work online. We do sales on Amazon as well as our own website, SimplyNativeFoods.com. Finally, last 2 are those brand ambassadors, the partnerships with people doing different activities within those 3 main segments that I mentioned earlier. And finally, we're also doing events in the Midwest, but also starting to look further out in the country. We did a really big one, the outdoor retail in June, which is in Salt Lake City. It's kind of the mainstay for outdoor enthusiasts. All right, now I'd like to talk a little about where we're going forward. This is one of my more favorite segments of what we're doing here. So this is our first product, our Wild Rice Hot Cereal, but we are in the midst of creating our next line of products. And we've been doing R&D for the last year and kind of testing out different ideas and concepts. And I'm excited to say that we have landed on this last one here, the on-the-go, highly nutritious bites bars. We're looking a lot more into the bites type concept right now. So what that means is, as you may be familiar, the bar market is just booming. It's exploding. You can't go into any store without seeing a new kind of bar, even the gas station. What we're looking to do is do a little bit different and kind of bites, so single bites within one package, and also these are ready to eat, right? So just pull it out of the package and ready to go. We're looking to stay with the wholesome, natural, and also local superfoods. And we're doing this concept of kind of representative of different regions across the country. So one of them, just to give you an example, is we have our wild rice cereal, which are all ingredients that are native to the Great Lakes region. So we'd be taking that and turning it into a bar. Doing similar things with ingredients and plants, and as well as proteins, animal proteins from the Northeast, from the West Coast, from the South, and using some of these lesser known type of fruits such as the Saskatoon or the Aronia berry in these bars as well. So, looking forward, we really look to become a go-to brand name in the outdoor enthusiast community. Source as many of our ingredients from Native American farmers as possible. We have become a 1% for the Planet company, so we are donating 1% of our profits each year to a partner organization, and we are actually in the midst of finalizing that partner organization, and we're looking to work with an NGO who is working, Native American NGO who's working on food sovereignty issues in Native American communities. So that's one thing that I'll talk about later, but we are looking for help in finding that right partner. Finally, developed 3 new product lines that we're able to launch, first obviously regionally, but within 3 years we were most certainly looking to go as a nationwide brand into retail. So I can't talk about this without our amazing team. Like I said, we started as a family company, and just in the last recent months we're happy to announce that we've also added our wonderful team member, Tim Flores, who is here, as you can tell. Did a nice little bit of Photoshop here. Basically, wonderful team. My parents are actually up in River Falls, Wisconsin, and Tim and I are here in Madison. We're local. But this is kind of outlining our roles and what we're all up to. Overall, we have extensive experience in foraging and organic farming, as well as the actual organic food space. And in particular, with Tim's addition to the team, we also have a good amount of background in e-commerce and digital marketing as well, which will help out in that sales channel. So with that, I'd like to say thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to your questions and feedback.
So you've got a lot of irons in the fire. What are going to be your major tipping points for success? What's going to equip you the best to expand the product line and get into these markets and capture your adventure enthusiasts?
Yeah, that's a great question. Right now, we are looking into getting into outdoor retail stores as one of those ways, and that would be kind of like REI would be a great example, but also your Rutabaga or Fontana Sports. We're really finalizing our market research right now as far as where outdoor enthusiasts shop. And there is some food at those stores, so that's kind of a natural go-to first. But really, I mean, it's great doing this work with these brand ambassadors, and they are certainly moving levers and helping us out. But you do need to have some shelf space or some place where it can be found and known, or you can tell people to go to. And so with that as well, that's what we're doing online in the meantime.
Not to use a pun, but it sounds like your plan is to kind of grow organically as a company. Is that right?
Yeah.
Not seek outside funding?
We are actually gearing up to seeking outside funding for our new product line.
Okay, so if you do that, I would think one of your biggest challenges that, by the way, I've seen your presentation in a couple different venues, and you're really making good progress, but you still have, I think, a challenge of sourcing and production and still maintain the credibility of your product. Have you thought about how you're going to grow this thing if you take an investment?
Yes, as far as the products themselves and sourcing ingredients.
Getting the ingredients, which I know wild rice is always a challenge.
Absolutely.
Production, maintaining production for an organic food is a challenge, and scaling that is going to be a challenge.
So, yeah,
I'm not looking for a treatise, but just kind of how
No, that's a great question. So in particular with the wild rice, in our new product line, we are looking to work with a number of other ingredients as well. As you probably know, wild rice is a premium ingredient, and that is demands a high cost just for the raw ingredient itself, which is tough to make a lower cost final product. But we're looking to use and innovate with a lot of different other types of native plants, such as corn, amaranth, and a number of other base ingredients as well. And as far as scalability, we are working, the reason that we went the co-packer route is to be able to, yes, it's a ton of work to be able to source and procure the different type of ingredients, but once we are and we have the actual recipe, we're able to put it into our partner and be able to actually make it without taking up all of our time.
So is your plan always to contract your production?
For now, yes. Obviously, for doing our production in-house would require much capital to be able to set that up. It is not something that down the road we would not like to be able to. I mean, you get a lot of control, as well as obviously economies of scale. You're able to control where the savings go directly. So it would certainly be a great longer-term goal.
connected up with boulders at all? I'm just thinking about it because this past week, at least, I feel like they've been like throwing bags of Quaker granola at everybody who walks in the door.
Really?
So yeah, so apparently they're not opposed to food tie-ins.
Cool. Have not had someone on our team who's looking into it, but has not gotten back to me on it. So hearing that they are, I mean, they're a rock climbing gym, correct? Hearing that they are even involved more in food, that seems like something we should prioritize more. Because, like I mentioned, climbers are certainly people who have been coming to us and have been liking our product a lot. So
yeah,
a good place to have a conversation.
Yeah, I feel like if you're based in Madison, that's where all the climbers hang out.
Yeah, exactly, especially during the winter. That's a great tip. Do you have a connection there, by chance?
We'll talk afterwards.
Good.
Can you say a little bit more about the competitive landscape and whether you're identifying either direct competitors or people playing in the same space that might be good strategic allies?
Absolutely. Yeah, so the reason, yes, there are, I'd say, a handful or fewer competitors that are doing whole foods with minus all of the processed or not antibiotics, but preservatives and such that are also in the outdoor retail space. Some names that would come to mind are Good to Go Foods, in the bars like Health Warrior. So I'd say there are a handful that are in this space, which is obviously in some ways like not good, but at the same time I kind of like it because it shows that outdoor enthusiasts are looking for more than is the typical backpacker's pantry or mountain house, the extremely highly processed, high sodium. So to me, it's more validating that we're in the right direction, and that there are, in fact, at that outdoor retail show that I mentioned, we did have some conversations with other companies that are looking to do kind of co-branding and on a product line or something like that, which would be really amazing for us, especially at our early stage. So that's a great question.
Are you focusing on just the outdoor enthusiasts, or are you focusing on people that sort of ascribe to that lifestyle, even if they're not actually out there doing things? I would assume that like the vast majority of Cliff Bars are not actually consumed
on the mountainside.
On the mountainside.
Yeah.
The aspirational market.
Exactly.
There you go.
Especially when they're being sold at 7-Eleven or everywhere in between. So that's a really great question. And what we're really trying to do is build our brand with outdoor enthusiasts, and so that it is those aspirational folks are looking for that same food. That makes sense. What Cliff Bar did in the beginning was getting their bars actually in the hands of the climbers as much as possible, and making sure that they are the healthy, the outdoor type bar that you go to. And so we're looking to do a similar approach. I myself, I love doing outdoor activities, but I must say that especially during the winter, I find it seldom that I'm out twice a week or even once a week doing an outdoor activity, but I still see myself as, an outdoor kind of guy. And so it's really just finding those people that clicks with the most, but working with those people who are aspirational or less involved, but yet still very much interested and active, is certainly what we're looking to do. So that's a great question.
How do you select your brand ambassadors? How do you approach them, and how formal is that relationship?
Great. So thus far, it's been just relationship building, meeting at events, trade shows, different like marathons or things like that. And typically, it's just been someone who's approached us and said, "Hey, I really love your product. I think it's great. For my sport, it's just the perfect fit. I'm going on this trip, and I'm looking for sponsors or some support." And so we'll typically just kind of, thus far it's been more informal, giving product and in return getting some media or getting some great testimonials, some press. We are in the process of formalizing that more, but really we're quite open to working with anyone who is kind of aligned with our values and is looking for good real food for their activity.
Just curious, how price sensitive is this market?
A lot less than traditional retail. A lot less.
So,
yeah, people, especially if you're looking for good food in this market. I mean, there are some meals that I was at REI yesterday that are starting for 2 people at like $11.50. And the bars as well. I mean, they're very healthy. They're very packed for nutrition, but it's not rare to see one $3 to $4, per bar. And so. we kind of saw that and see that people realize that they're willing to pay a bit more if it's good, A, and B, if it's convenient to eat either in the outdoors or just if you're hauling a lot of stuff around and you're not wanting to deal with multiple bags and doing all your own stuff. So I'd say it's less price sensitive.
You mentioned that the wild rice is kind of difficult to source and can be an expensive ingredient. Can you talk, to the extent that you are able to, a little bit more about the margins and the pricing that you've got in the different channels you're targeting?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to just clarify that the wild rice is more expensive than other base grains. There is a good supply of it. Just want to clarify that. We thus far have worked out a few different things that we're looking to do online for a couple of ways, have like introductory prices, so lowering on the individual pouch to get people to try it. But then we also have our bulk options that are only online, and those are for people that once you have a pouch or two, you're like, wow, this fits for what I do and what I like, to have that. And then at retail, such as in the co-ops, we really just try to give it to them at the lowest price possible, and they're a really great partner. It's a great marketing place for us to be there, especially that we're here local, and so we're trying to get that as low as it can be for people to be given a try. Does that answer your question?
Do you have like an all hands on deck strategy if you say got a feature in Outside Magazine and all of a sudden got 20,000 orders overnight? Like what's the plan?
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually we're in a food accelerator in Chicago, the Good Food Business Accelerator, operated by Family Farm, and we just had a presentation last week on supply chain, and she basically explained just that have to have all contingencies planned and ready, to which for that particular scenario we'd be able to supply about half of it at current point, and it would take a few months to be able to source the rest of the ingredients, get them mixed and actually out the door, a couple months. So that is certainly, it's feasible, but it would require some more preparedness, but also as well just if we're in talks with Outdoor Magazine to kind of put that cap on and realize that, all right, we can be getting orders of multiple pallets at a time. So that's something that we are, as a young food company, we're certainly always trying to improve.
So I'd like to ask about the connection with Native American groups. Are you in talks with anyone like that already? Is that something you want to be doing as you move forward and expand?
Thank you so much. We are in talks with a couple. One here in Madison actually operates a native market. Native market out on Fordham Avenue. We're in talks with them, and also a group out of Southwest United States, out in New Mexico in particular. And it's called Healthy Futures. They work with a number of Native American growers. Very open to having more of those talks, and I'm always kind of looking to further those talks because we'd like to have a partner as soon as possible. A good partner, so not to rush it, but have a good partner as soon as possible.
That's actually probably a good segue into our question that comes up is what can we as the community do to help you?
Yeah, thanks so much. So here we go. Kind of been touching on these throughout the presentation, but introductions to any outdoor communities, outdoor enthusiast communities in Madison or outside as well, by no means particular, obviously love to be local. This last question, introduction to any Native American organizations that work on these issues, but also farmers or suppliers as well. And then finally, feedbacks on our current products. Just talk very briefly, I know, about our upcoming product line, but if you have any thoughts or questions about that, would love as well. And finally, just engage with us online, in person, would be fantastic. So.
Well, thank you so much, Colin. This is a great presentation. I hope we can help, if nothing else, by consuming a lot of it.
Yes, and please go over and try some more.
And come try some more, drink all the coffee. Thank you all for coming out. Please keep coming back. We have great presenters lined up. Thank you to Old National Bank for sponsoring the coffee and Field 59 for the live stream, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you guys.